Oh, this is Paul. Yeah. hmm I'm just looking for this reckless endangerment in the RCWs, the 9A. Yeah. They have what's known as credit payment cards, unlawful factoring of transactions. Yeah. A person commits the crime of unlawful factoring. A credit card or payment card transaction if the person uses a scanning device. Yeah. hmm Now, for the nations of the world that have banks in them, yeah. Could you get me their point of sale locations for every bank in each of the nations? Yes. Now, financial fraud, unlawful possession, production of instruments of a person is guilty of unlawful production of payment interest instruments if he or she prints or produces a check or other payment interest instrument in the name of a person or entity or with the routing number and account number of a person or entity without the permission of the person or entity to manufacture or reproduce such payment instrument with such name, routing number, account number. Now, for me, obviously there's some financial fraud. Yeah. hmm and Spokane County. Yeah. Now, possession of another's identification. Ouch. hmm hmm If the person knowingly possesses personal identification bearing another person's identity with the person possessing the personal identification does not have the other person's permission to possess it, and possession does not amount to a violation of RCW 9.35.020. Yes. Now, the thought of my wife having my identity, yeah, and not giving me a dissolution of marriage, right? Even though I was married to her for 10 years, right? And then she didn't say that I had a right to it. No. No. And then she says that I was someplace that I wasn't right now. Importance of protecting the citizens from unwanted wireless surveillance. Yeah. Enhanced driver's licenses and enhanced ID cards. Yep. Intended to facilitate efficient travels at land and sea borders between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Not to facilitate the profiling and tracking of individuals. Yep. Now, could you get me all the smart IDs in each and every state? Yeah. See, I thought we had reciprocity with Canada and Mexico, and as much as you say that you can dissolve the United Nations marriage certificate, I say you can't. Yeah. And since I don't know what was submitted to the court as justification for the dissolution of marriage right now, I'm going to want the enhanced driver's licenses that can't be issued right now because of the pandemic. Now, for all the nations of the world that say they don't want to participate in my celebration, I'm going to want the identity of your individual banks and their liquidity. Yeah. I could buy them. Yes. Depending on your economic situation over the next 5 years. Yeah. See, as soon as I can get the United States to enforce my rights, I'm going to talk to a few of the individuals in Christianity that, well, whatever their own personal opinion of themselves is not of concern to me. I'm concerned about the previous 2,000 years of people, yeah, that have been involved in Christianity and the work they did while they were alive. Now, the self-involvement of the Orthodoxy and Catholicism, the Lutherans and whatever they might have, yeah, and then the last 200 years of Protestant Christianity, yeah, you know, they're really a small part of 2,000 years of history of individuals that have done a great amount of work for Christianity. I'm concerned about the first 1 to 600 years of Christianity, and Protestantism doesn't play into that because we didn't exist, 1,500 years ago. Yeah. Now, I know that there's a lot of disagreement about all this. Yes, but we have to really acknowledge and accept that it's 2,000 years of history. And for the Assembly of Gods that happened since the 1900s, about 120 years ago, I know you feel your importance. The Foursquare, yep, that thought you had any assets because of me not being able to to talk to Marilyn. I could turn your churches into banks. Yeah. See, you just put in some. I worked at Washington Mutual. It's a remodel of any building, really. Yes, yes, yes. And just so I know the Presbyterians, the Methodists, the Baptists. Oh, you know, if you're not included in me wanting you to have a bank, Mormons, don't feel like I don't love you. It's that you owe me $80 million.